don't business. You know what I'm saying? The shot is a shot because I hate when I see people take a picture of me and you got 5 miles around you there and you're thinking, take the picture properly. Take the picture like you can't crop it.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the mentality of it, man. Power banks is important.
Yeah.
Bro, that's more, that's after you buy the mic, your power bank is next thing.
Your next friend.
You know what I'm saying? Because power bank and SSD, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have these things, you know what I'm saying? You can't get to the next level.
Affinity Xtra, be extra.
Yeah, people, this is your boy here, Roger Moore and Affinity Xtra alongside Marx, and we're here to do Tech Extra, and we're here to give you insight, knowledge, what we're looking forward to, what we're excited about, what we're not excited about, and, you know, just give advice. And this I think today's show is more about advice, more about keeping it 100 when it comes to approaches. We might not agree, we do things totally different as well. As much as we've got the same Macs, our workflow is different. And there's reason for that in terms of our angles when it comes to media now. Both of us do video, been in the video, would you say video media game for a long time.
Yeah.
I call it game, you know, like it's a game where it feels like a game. But
industry world.
Industry, yeah, man. We've been in the game, man. We're running things anyway. But we've both been in the video game for a long time in the UK gospel, and myself, I came into it through a time where I felt like we didn't get support from the companies that had the facilities to deliver. And when you're doing events and stuff, because it's not got Kirk, nobody comes out to support you. So when you get up to Kirk, everybody wants to video that event. But it comes to breakthrough stuff in the urban scene in our early days, no one's interested. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to really push out there. And then when they do it, you get the guys who say, okay, it's going to cost you X amount to edit it. You know what I'm saying? You're thinking, but you said he was going to come and record it. And it's almost like I felt like I got conned. But fortunately, they didn't realize that Roger's a bit of a tech geezer, and then I worked out that I could pick it up quite quickly, and I did. And so I've taught myself. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly the same for me. It's like I've always been of the mindset that, you know, if you can work with people, you can work with people. But then in the industry that we were in, especially the gospel industry, wherever people want to hear it or not, people are greedy. You know what I'm saying? People are greedy. Wow. It's like unprofessional, and that's stuff. And I can't deal with unprofessionalism. It's like, if I have an agreement with you, stick to the agreement. If we're going to do something, let's do it to the top level.
Man is open up a can of worms on us.
I don't want to get deep, because then I'm going to end up having to rinse some people. But the fact is,
you know who you
that
are.
There's within the UK gospel industry, I'm going to say it, there's too much unprofessionalism, and because of that unprofessionalism, because of the lack or unprofessionalism, and also people being happy with mediocrity in terms of quality. And I still deal with that even now. People sending me stuff to work on for them. I'm looking at this, I'm thinking, this is a mess. I couldn't touch this. So that, back in the early days, got me to the point where I realized, one, I need to rely on myself. And two, like you just said, anything I wanted to learn, I self-taught. Sometimes I would buy something, and this is a time where we didn't have YouTube to teach us. You'd have to sit there, get your thing open, got the manual on the side, and teach yourself hours and rinse it, try it out, rinse it till you learn. And then next thing you know have to do the thing properly. Now people are calling on you now to use that same skill that you've learned for yourself to go and do other jobs. But yeah, a lot of the stuff in terms of the video and media, I've had to learn for myself.
Like myself, I'm sure you ain't been trained. You ain't gone to college for it, have you?
Not for the media stuff. No, I went to college for how can I describe it? Graphic design.
Okay.
So I learned how to use like Adobe, and back in those days as well, we had like Flash, Dreamweaver, all that kind of stuff.
Macro media.
Macro media. So I did that. But in terms of anything to do with videography or things to do with sound, or any kind of production work, no. Self-taught.
Sorry guys, I didn't go to no place. I've said it numbers time. Everything self-taught for me. I think I even ran my own printing company, and I was in reprographics using Quark Express.
Wow,
you know what I'm saying?
Quark Express, bro.
You know, bro. Sorry,
you know.
Yeah, we say Quark Express, bro, was the magazine publishing thing, and then InDesign kind of took it over from about InDesign is CS. I reckon version CS InDesign. I reckon about version 3. That's when it started looking serious. But Quark I used to use, and back in the day when it used to take ages to export PDFs, and you know what I'm saying, that used to be a nightmare. But Photoshop version 3 was the first one I think I got access to. Dreamweaver 1 and 2 I was using. And this self-taught, you know, core brethren, big up to Louis who taught me the fundamentals of Dreamweaver. And then you had Joomla came out, and then WordPress was the was the thing to go crazy on. But it's all there. But we're saying all this to say that basically we winged it. We winged it to the stage where, but the thing is, you wouldn't know we winged it. We spent time developing our art that you wouldn't believe that we never went to uni and didn't do this stuff. What you're seeing right now, the video that you're seeing right now, we put out from Affinity Xtra, goodness sake, too many videos a week. And that is me refining my workflow to deliver high quality but easy edited stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I'm making sure that how we're recording here is a certain way of recording, so I can make sure I can export it and be exporting it by tomorrow, and everybody's happy. You know what I'm saying? So and then export it as MP3s and MOVs, upload it to YouTube, making sure. And that's why I have to run 2 Macs because because you know you got Macs uploading, Max exporting, Max editing, whatever, Max export. So you have a workflow, so you got to have all that. So saying that to all say this, back in my GR360 TV days, I learned the hard way. I used to go on events doing uncut. And I believe it was probably when you was doing True. I'm sure you was doing True Love around them. And I would sneak out to events because I'll get, I'll be Uncle Roger, come down and do my show. But I had a Canon 550. So I'll come down with my Canon 550. I got like a 50mm lens. That was about, again, that's a mistake purchase. I've buying the more expensive one and didn't really need it. But still, it was a fantastic lens. Absolutely brilliant lens, but I don't know why I sold it. You know what I mean? Because Wex bought it off of me for a good price. I think, why are you buying me for such a high price? Because it was so on. But I had my Canon, which I'm not using Canon, but 550 that a lot of people do music videos with. I just started doing events and recording backstage.
That was literally my first camera. The
550. 550. Oh,
was my first camera. I can't remember how I got in.
I did not know that, guys.
That was my first one. I did a little bit of research, and again, them times there I didn't have the access to YouTube reviews like we do now. So it was a lot of talking to people, looking around and seeing what other people are using. So I came across the 550. That was my first. Who
was talking the truth back then? Who was giving us the not talking about the truth, by the way. Femi.
Oh yeah.
Femi, salute to Femi now. Femi didn't care. He'll tell mans how to do things. So shout out, Royal Priesthood, word up for him, because he would go, I'm using Sony, so he was editing on Vegas or something, Vegas, something back in the day, and he would just say, that camera, I use use that Canon 7D or whatever. So you need to go up. He was straight open with it. So I thought, you know what? So everybody else was secret, like, this is my market. They wouldn't really tell you what they were using. You know what I mean? But say, you can use your Nokia, but really, you know what I mean? They know how to use a Nokia outside and whatever, but they're not telling you indoors. You can't be using no Nokia. So 550, bro. That's a classic, bro.
So literally that sparked my interest into learning more and gaining more understanding in terms of how the whole video stuff works. And I feel like every kind of technology they've probably released in terms of video production, I've at some point at least tested it at a minimum, if not bought it and had it on my journey to learning how to do things. Like we said, we're self-taught. We hear things, you have to dip in and find out how to get the run-ins.
Hey, when people give you stupid advice that they don't even do themselves, and make it sound so good, and you get it, and you're thinking you didn't do it yourself. So
yeah,
you know
like I've had that kind of advice where I asked someone something and they said to me, rather than them giving me the information that I want, they'll say to me, well, you can just do this. As if to say, I'm doing this, but I don't think you'll be able to do this. Or I'm doing this, I don't think you'll be able to afford this. Just tell me the thing, let me decide for myself and go. But yeah, all the good advice, bad advice, I've had it all, I've heard it all. And like I said, that's the reason why I said, you know what, let me just do my own thing. Because if I have to keep turning to people and thinking, let me find out things for myself, learn things for myself, train myself up. And then, yeah, where I am now is a testimony to how well I've done in terms of being self-taught.
Yeah, it definitely is, man. One of my guys said, listen, he came, he saw me a couple of years ago, came to the studio, and he came the other day, and he's like, Raj, like, yeah, just keep doing excellence, and it's just don't, yeah. You can see, I can see you're excellent in your field. Yeah, I'll come out my way to support you because you're excellent in your field.
And that's what it comes down to, is the excellence. And I think that was probably the word I was looking for earlier when I was trying to say about the standards. I will do something, if I'm involved in something, I want to do it as excellent as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? If I don't do it as best as I can, it's going to be it's going to be down to one reason, is because I don't have what I need to do that thing to the top level that I want to be able to do at a particular moment. But if I have everything I need, I'm going to do it. And just putting it in very basic terms for you guys, if I know I can release a 4K video, I'm not going to release a 480 video. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give you the 4K. This is what I'm talking about over the years. Especially when it comes to the graphic design things, people tell me, okay, I've got a flyer, I just need you to put this on there. When I look at the flyer, I'm thinking,
I walk away, bro.
Yeah, I literally can't.
You know what I'm saying? Your flyer, I remember doing the magazine, Gospel It magazine, and I remember people sending your flyers. If you can budget it, we see if we can pay for a redesign, it's not coming in the magazine.
Yeah. You know and this is the thing, is that someone said something to me years ago, and they said to me, when you see you start working with people, what you're going to understand is you're tying your name to what you're working on. So when that thing gets released, from the time people find out that you're involved in that project or you did this thing, they just assume this is you. And if I've got a standard up here and someone is working down there, if I come down there, then when people are looking and they're judging what I've done too. And I can't afford to let people judge me on that when I know I'm up here. Because now when I start releasing things up here, they're thinking, I don't get my. I'm not saying I'm doing it for recognition, but the fact is that when everybody does it, myself included. You look on Instagram or you look on websites, whatever, you see things and like you make a judgment based on what you see.
Come on,
you know what I'm saying? And if people see something, they say, okay, Marcus is tagged into this thing, or it shows that Mark's company designed this thing.
Man, no, 100%, and it sounds like you're trying to be bougie, but end of the day, so yeah, you're protecting your brand. But at the same time, I feel that, we got to drive the community, because sometimes people literally drive better cars than what their music videos are, and you go, hold on a second, I'm catching the bus to do this video shoot. You rolling up in a Mercedes, wanting to spend £50 on this video shoot. Sometimes that's what really put me off working with artists, because I'm spending car money on my equipment, and you want to spend McDonald's money on your music video. So why am I investing more into you when you're investing into yourself?
And that's what it is.
So if we're risking and investing, and you're not going to invest, every you get talk about God this, God that, God that, mate, you're not talking the same God about me, man. Anyway, still, yeah. But we're going to be looking at, even after all that long talk, some of the tricks and stuff about vlogging, because this is the major thing. People, I went to step. We should go mess up there, right? So, I was at step forward, and Mark's beat me to it there because I'm traveling a distance, so it was bad weather and everything. So I got there and I thought, I'm just gonna go and just record some stuff of the performance of my camera. Well, Mark's was on the, what you call it, the red carpet, red carpet,
yeah.
red carpet thing. So anyway, so yeah, but I'm not that guy. I'm not really into that stuff anyway. So yeah, I don't really interact. I'm an introvert. So I'm like, I don't talk to nobody. I like to be in a corner in the corner. But like that was full up, and I've been watching footage of people doing there. So what knocked me off, people, is iPhone people sticking up phones. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? While man's got the things like this, yeah? You know what I'm saying? And they got iPhones doing blogs, and I'm looking at them afterwards, and I'm going, okay, that's great. It works. But let's talk about the whole vlogging thing and equipment. Have you actually thought about it? But I'm not saying you can't use your iPhone. I'm saying there's a couple of elements before you start doing vlogging. I think there's some people with great presentation skills. You know what I'm saying? But it's about how do I work within my budget. What I find, what annoys me is that people keep on asking me, Roger, I want to do some podcasts. Can you put me on Amazon where to go to click one button and get that device? And I have to say, anytime you buy, and it's not about Amazon. It's not criticizing Amazon, but anytime you go to these things where it goes, yeah, man, you got a vlogging kit here for £299. I guarantee you it will fall apart and break within 2 weeks. You do one shoot and it not work again. It was no offense to it, but they're almost just like cheap and cheap. But every time you cheat the thing, it don't last long, and the quality isn't as good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
See, there's a couple of things I would say to that. Like you said, okay, the best way to put it is that when you get into vlogging and you get to the level where you're doing it professionally and like you want certain qualities, you're gonna have to spend money. It's as simple as that. You're gonna have to spend money. And I think if you're just a beginner, you're just starting out, you've not done it before, you just thought yourself you'd like to get into it, then cool, you spend your little £200 on whatever. Because I think I would encourage everybody to start somewhere. Because I think the most dangerous thing is that people always have these ideas and things they want to do, and the year after year, I want to do this, I want to do it, and they don't start it. So I'd rather you say you get the cheap thing and start, and just start putting your videos out.
But you're totally right there.
Yeah.
But okay, so if I've got 200, okay, right, I'm gonna hit you right now, 250 because you can't really hit the market without 250. Yeah, I've got a iPhone because everybody's got a phone. Yeah, there's no camera that's better than the phone until you go to the stages of spending almost $1,000. Yeah. So can you stop phoning me and asking me what camera can you buy your son or your daughter for cheap so they can get into this vlogging thing? They're phones that they've got iPhone 16s, which is good. But if you've got 250 quid, bro, you can make one quality purchase, and that is
audio,
your mic. Now I've got I'm just got my gear here and people listening in still. Yeah. Now this is not the latest one, but this is the wireless Go 2. I've got the wireless Go as well, the Rode one, and obviously there's a lot more coming to market after Go and whatever. There's DJI has a fantastic one. Sennheiser has come out with a real cool one that has a device, but these that connect to your phones direct and they connect to professional cameras is something which I have because it has the versatility, and admittedly I don't use it with my phone to be honest, but Rode has got their also software that goes on your phone, and that actually can connect to my Rodecaster. Absolutely madness still. So but the thing is you simply have this right. I've got like a case, charging case for this anyway, for the wireless too, but I take that to gigs. I've got like one of the mic adapts for. So what I did when I did my last Uncut gig, we did a production there. We was recording for the guy, but backstage we did some recordings. I have that. I still use this mic as a reference mic because as much as I got I got a Lumix S9 now. Usually I've got bigger cameras than that. It's a perfect compact camera for me, and I can put a professional lens on it. And I got a Sigma lens on there, and what this decent price kit. You check it out if you can. What the heck, watch. But it still needs to speak. This little mic system, 70 quid. Sennheiser MKE 200. Great reference mic.
Yeah.
And you can connect straight to, if you do it right, you can connect it to mobile phones as well, or whatsoever. So that's fantastic. And you get a reference mic, but I still like the wireless. Once you put that wireless going, you put it next to your mouth. Don't matter what noise is in the background, bro.
No,
you know what I'm saying? Nobody, and you enjoy the audio experience.
And that's the key thing is, so again, just going back to the fact that if you see you're starting off, audio is probably more important for me anyway than video. I could sit there and watch a 480p video with good quality.
Yeah.
But I can't sit there and watch a 4K video and bad quality audio because I can't hear nothing. I don't want to be hearing crackling in my ears and all that kind of stuff. I mean, just to give you guys an indication, so everything now is recording about 4K. People start talking about recording in 8K soon. About 4K is like the premium.
Yeah. 4K still.
But Instagram, TikTok, all of them, they can't take 4K videos. 1080p is still the maximum.
Yeah.
1080p. So it doesn't matter if you're recording 4K. When you upload it to Instagram, you'll only ever get 1080p. And that is the maximum that they take. So even having big cameras like this or the iPhone on 4K, that's not what's going to upload to Instagram or TikTok and all those other things. YouTube,
downsample.
YouTube, you'll get the 4K, but the social platforms only do 1080. I think there's some of them that still do 720. But the audio is good. If I'm on Instagram, if I see a video, I'm more likely to listen to it if I can hear what the people are saying is clear and everything. Even if the quality is a bit low in terms of the video than anything else. So I totally agree. If you've got £250, I would spend your first thing on audio. If you want to break it a little bit, maybe take £50, get yourself a nice cheap table light or something. This one that's here is not a cheap one, but you could get a cheap table light, a ring light or something just to put your phone with. Something to get started. But then you need to spend quality money on the audio. If you're looking to go out and about like what we do, then like Roger said, your wireless options are the good ones. If you're looking to just do something like this, which is a desktop option, you can get like a Rode Pod mic for like £100. You maybe even get like the Shure SM58, which I think you can probably pick up for about 70 quid, and that audio is very good as well.
This one here, so Marx is using the original pod one. I've got the USB pod, which will connect directly into your
tablets,
iPhones and everything else. So that worked great with that, and you can record there and use the Rode Central software perfectly in there, Rode recording, and you can do your podcast from there. And just that alone, my wife, like, she does her podcast and she records on a mic properly. She does audio, but all her show rules, she's using a wireless ME. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Rode, you know what I'm saying? ME.
For my outdoor ones.
And then also, guys, Rode and DJI is just taking the battle. So what happened, and I'll give you guys, there's something called 32-bit float, which really came out in internal recording, and Rode and DJI excelled in it. But what they did do, which was really sneaky, is that they, just before the end of the last year, they both brought out devices that are perfect for your mobiles that doesn't have the recording ability. The more compact, more smarter and smaller and whatsoever out there still, and it's like, and you can pick up the DJI one for 80 quid. And as a professional company, you can clip it onto yourself and away you go. And you can sound absolutely fantastic. You know what I'm saying? So you got them options, and they can connect directly to phones, especially the DJI one can connect to phones and cameras. The Rode one is only phones. You know what I mean? But there was definitely options on that smaller side of things in terms of audio. But what vexed me at my last shoot though, when I was at a step forward, I couldn't get the audio off when I'm doing events and even working on performances. Vexing to me. And I had to get the 32-bit float, something with 32-bit float. I don't know if you know about 32-bit float. Yeah. So ultimately, the problem is when you're recording digitally, something called peaking. So I had little Zoom things and recording wise, and you put it into something and it will come back and it's peaking, and and that spoils the whole recording as much as it's clean coming to the desk. So Zoom came out with this H1 XLR. So now I just go to the gigs, have in my little, and guys, the bag is crucial. Don't skimp on the bag, trust me. You know what I mean? Or you look like an idiot, so I have a cyber. But this XLR, I have my XLR leads straight there, plug straight into the desk. I want my out. clean, effectively let go, press record, gone.
Yeah.
And then I sync it afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So that's another audio king, and that is not even expensive. This is 130, 40. So for 250 quid, you can pick up wireless.
Yeah.
Wireless, go for it, and when you click this to record the event, and then you got a great recording.
Yeah. And that's the thing, is like you have to kind of like look at what you're going to be working with. So if we're talking about like vlogging, so whether it be like I was in red carpet, or you get people which go out and about and they're recording videos and stuff like that. I really recommend highly the Rode option, especially when you talk about using your phones. Obviously, you know that I use my phone a lot now.
Yeah.
I do occasionally use the cameras, but I use the phone.
Man kills the phones, you know.
The reason I use the phone is just because of how fast things move with the phone. So, like for example, I can record. When I did the red carpet, for example, I was recording predominantly landscape using the phone. But then when I needed to record close-ups, it was just simply turn my phone, go straight into reels. You know what I'm saying?
But you could bring out stuff quick though.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Where I couldn't.
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's pros and cons. So like even then, I could record a reel, I could record it live, go straight to Instagram, all that kind of stuff. And I think that's why I started to use the phones, because there's times where I want to bring back content to edit, and there's times I want to go live and put it there straight and then, or even just record and pull it up at the same time. And the phone allows you to do that, where when you're with a camera, you're kind of like restricted to, I can record, but I need to wait till I get home to edit. Then after editing, publish, where you can go live or publish straight away there and then with the phone. I think that's the reason I went to that way. And it's just less setup time. Again, you know, if I'm doing interviews and I'm walking around, I can literally just put the phone in my pocket, get in front of someone and just go like that. Do you know what I'm saying? And then start recording. And the Rode mics make it so easy in terms of the audio. I mean, it's literally connecting directly either by Bluetooth or the cable. I tend to do the cable option solely because then I don't have to rely on the thing of Bluetooth might drop or stuff like that. Cable, I know I'm always connected.
Yeah.
And then again, as someone that does interviews on the red carpet, the Rode ME, for example, or the Rode Goals and stuff like that, connect directly to the Rode Reporter stick, which is like $20 or £20.
And you got some knockoff Nigel ones as well.
And you're literally just doing all that kind of stuff. And it's just so easy to be able to do that now compared to back in the day, which is why I think when people don't go out their way to make sure audio is their first thing, I find it as laziness, because I'm thinking it's so cheap to do it now. There's no excuse. Absolutely no excuse.
Yeah. No. 100%, bro. And I think that you're 100% right there. And I think that guys, you know, for literally 250 quid, we gave you a solution of there. And I must admit, our presenter Mimo went to Spain and she took footage off a Samsung. And now there's a couple of things which you shouldn't have done. So sometimes you look at footage and thought, it's all right when I'm editing, yeah? I must admit, bro, I watched the footage of a Samsung on my TV. You know, so what is it, though? Sometimes you look at things on TV, it looks different to when you look on when you're editing it, yeah? And I have to say, I was like this, that's a phone recording now. And I must admit, the high-end phones, the high-end Google Pixel, iPhones, Samsung, and you don't have to record in 8K if you're using a Samsung. Just record in 4K.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Don't mash up the thing for 8K. 8K is for fast. Like, I would record 8K. Like, I record 6K when I do my gigs, because as a professional videographer, I'm looking at punching in where somebody's got it wrong or whatever. So 6K, that's the reason why I do 6K, not to export it. So you almost downsampling it down, so it should be high quality, but it's just downsampling down. But you still, like you said, if it gives you lesser quality, go for the higher quality 4K. And
I think the other tip as well is that a lot, especially when you're first learning to do it. So when you see you're recording in 4K, whether you're using the camera or the phone, you set your your device to be where you want it for the recording from the end. So I'm talking about in terms of the aspect ratio. So if you're doing 16:9 or whatever, but you set everything, your zoom and everything before you hit the record.
And
then when you hit the record, your 4K is recorded on that setting. Where I've seen a lot of people, what they've been doing is they just put the thing up, just hit record. It's recording in 4K, but they haven't got the crop how they want it. So now when they go to edit, they're having to crop the 4K. And when you're moving into the 4K, then you're losing the quality.
But also zoom as well. Be very careful. Digital zoom is a killer. Dude, guys, physically walk into the framing because you maintain quality. If you digitally zoom, not optically zooms, so there's three optical spaces. You in times 1, times 2, times 3 when it comes to Apple. You know what I mean? That's optical zooms. But if you start, I see people zoom in, then zoom out. You're thinking, oh my god, like don't do that, because you're actually degrading the quality of the shot as well. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing it while there. So if you're there, set, and just push people out the way. You know what I'm saying? Listen, this is my best setting, and I have so many people, bro. When I get my camera in my face, and what's the point? It's fine in my screen. Talk. Don't business. You know what I'm saying? The shot is a shot, because I know I hate when I see people take a picture of me and you got 5 miles around you there like that. And you're thinking, take the picture properly. Take the picture like you can't crop it. That's the mentality of it, man. That's what I definitely would advise and stuff. And as I said, you can use pro cameras, and pro camera users will use it. But as I warn people, you gotta have some gigabytes spare on your hard drive.
And there's pros and cons to both. I mean, like we said, like you could probably talk more on your camera, because I think you probably use your camera more than anything else. From my side, like I said, I've talked about the pros in terms of why I switched to using my iPhone for majority of stuff. And again, you know, the things like the Rode Wireless ME make it very easy. Christmas I recorded. You know, we did those Christmas AX videos. I recorded mine with the Rode USB mic, the one you're using now. Plugged directly into my phone. You know what I'm saying? There are so many different options to doing. But what would you say are the pros and cons for using like these kind of cameras?
You got to know what you're doing. There's an element of, there's more training to do when it used in pro cameras. People think they can get them up and just get it moving. I've got years of and as you're talking about the advantages and disadvantages of using pro cameras, there's probably a reason why you've gone the phone route, which I could have potentially was going down, is because in media now, people use iPhones, BBC, and all to record interviews and capture moments and whatsoever. And my advice, especially outdoors, iPhones are brilliant, and mobile device. When it's indoors, you got to make sure you got lighting. And I see Mark's come up here and use his phones because of the lighting situation. It comes out like
Chris.
What phone? It really makes a difference. The lighting does, and it really makes your phone look great and fantastic. But the sheer fact that I kind of do documentary photography, videography, I'm using my cast-offs to do it. So, but I'm there. But the con is really hard drive space. Absolutely. If you're going to do quality, hard drive space. So with this particular Lumix one, there is a light version which isn't quite 6K and whatever, but it's great for social media. So I do record on that. But I can do a full show and it's 80 gigabytes. You know what I'm saying? You know, and that's just backstage footage, whatever. That's just easy. Gone. So literally, guys, you know, that's definitely a con. But you got to know what you're doing. And it's not cheap. But it's also what I would say stability and comfortability. When you're doing video shoots, everybody gets a phone out and goes like this. You love to see the people when they're recording a gig and they got the iPad out like this and they're recording the gig. I laugh because you only can do that for 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? And when they start doing this, and when they're shaking because everybody thinks I got strength, I got skills, and you're holding it, this is good, and they're gonna, and when you get shaking all over the place. The key thing is, guys, is sometimes just like having this stand here, when it goes like that, it's more for it's a way you hold your camera. You know what I'm saying? Stability. Don't rely on one hand because you'll be shaking like that. Still, you got stability things. Even though they got stabilizers, don't kill off the stabilizer usage there. Just having this comfortable strap. Trust me, guys. These little things, crucial, bro. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to vlogging, you're not fasting. You got to capture the moment. So somebody comes up to you and then Kurt Franklin comes up, come, let's do it. And you take 5 minutes just to get your gear out. That's why your bag is, you got to be ready. You got to be, what's the word? Run and gun. Think about run and gun. Not all my cameras are run and gun. This is my run and gun camera.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And even it's a setup. But really, iPhone's perfect for it. But when you start setting up mics, you gotta look at that run and gun mentality. You know what I'm saying? And my advice is that I want everybody to be vlogging. I think it's great for the UK gospel scene that we have a load of vloggers. But I'm tired of vloggers starting up and then 2 weeks later they give up because you know, I mean, they try the thing, they get a great opportunity at awards to do something, and you're thinking, yeah, let's see some more, and then they give up, man. You know what I'm saying? And I just encourage you guys, you know, if me and Marks give up, man, what would we be doing now, bro?
I don't know.
Man, we're playing FIFA.
Yeah.
Yeah, too often. Well, you probably still play FIFA.
I'm still playing it, but listen, I mean, I think just as you're saying that, I remember one of the key reasons as to why I stopped using these as well. Because I used to go around to different locations and do a lot of live streams for events where people used to tell me to come and live stream and something for them. And one of the things that used to really irk me was having to change the batteries in the cameras all the time. Having to have all these backup batteries, and sometimes by the time you change the battery, you missed a key moment of something and whatnot. And I think that was the other thing as well, where with the iPhone, I was able to, I would just, because a lot of time I'm talking about, not like here where we've got like, okay, the things are in a position so they can be plugged in to the power source. So then with the iPhone, I could have like an external battery pack if I see it's running low. Or like there was just little things which just made it a bit easier. But again, it's the pros and cons, because there's obviously a live stream with a pro camera is always going to look a lot better. You know what I'm saying? But then, like I said, it was the fighting of the battery, because I'm someone that I would be recording like outside somewhere for like hours. And then when the battery's dead, it's dead. And you can't. They might have changed it up now, and especially now with the kind of power banks that they've got available now, you could probably charge up some of these cameras with them. But that was the main thing for me as well, is that I felt that the battery, or I got more from the battery, or more opportunity to charge the battery using the phones, which is why again I switched over to that.
Okay, cool. No. Batteries, that's another major thing, guys. Just having a power bank.
I mean, is this got an internal battery, or is it?
No, it's one you can flick out. Okay. Because I did have a Blackmagic which had an internal camera, and it was like, oh my goodness, like you flick out, but the battery does last good. But look, you got two batteries right here. You see it over there? Yeah, I got two batteries. In my pack, I got another battery, so I got more batteries. But also, you can run off batteries. So I got little small rig batteries, but you got to have mobile battery power. You got to have power packs. If you don't have, is it power packs or banks? What are they called?
Power banks. Yeah.
Banks. Sorry, power banks is important. Bro, that's more. That's after you buy the mic, your power bank is next thing.
Your next friend.
You know what I'm saying? Because power bank and SSD, you know what I'm saying? If you don't have these things, you know what I'm saying? You can't get to the next level. Forget cameras, because the power bank can charge your camera. Because with a lot of cameras now, you can plug USB-C and actually run at the same time. But I would say power banks, be very careful. Make sure they got an output of 100 watts. I think that's really, really crucial. Which brand? I know your brandish.
I only use certain brands now. Listen. Okay.
Let me guess you two brands.
To be fair, I have got a power bank that I use at the moment as my everyday, and that is not a branded one. That's just one that got recommended to me. I mainly use that for like going to work, this, that, and the other. When I'm traveling up to like Birmingham, this, that. But if I'm doing my main work, then I literally just use two brands for everything, for my cables, for my power banks, for everything. So, and that's like I said,
Ugreen and Anchor. That's
Ugreen and Anchor.
Yeah, man.
I even spend the extra. I mean, even like yesterday, I was looking at the MagSafe charging packs, the ones that attach to the back of the phone.
Yeah.
And I've seen some nice cheap ones. 10,000 milliamp hours or whatever it is. And
that's the one, for what you're doing. Because I was at a gig, and Natalia's battery was running out, and I gave her that, and her eyes meant no leads, and you just click it on the back, and you just carry on.
And that's why it's good to have those ones, because, like you said, you click it on the back, it doesn't take any leads, which means you can still connect your wireless ME or whatever to the phone. You understand?
All right. That's a good point.
That's why. But again, I was looking at some online yesterday, and they had some going at good prices. The Anchor and Ugreen ones were maybe an extra like £5-7, but in my head I'm thinking,
no, get them. But
I'd rather get them.
You get them.
I'd rather get them because you know what quality you're getting with them, right? And then also Anchor and Ugreen, they both have a very good like warranty on them. So even if you've got an issue, you're guaranteed that's going to get fixed or replaced very quickly with both of them.
Okay, yeah.
So that's why I stick with them. The stuff is solid. And the other thing as well is especially when it comes to the things like the cabling for the cameras, there's a lot of companies claiming to be like, this cable is fast charger and this yeah, and I'm talking about like third party ones where you can see it's the same cable but another company just renamed it. But with Anchor and Ugreen, because they're reliable names, you know you're getting exactly
the
what
same
you
thing.
asked for.
It's not just just your logo stamped on a particular one. Yeah, that is an excellent point. So guys, all these guys, if you don't listen to this is actually a really cool podcast to really understand some of the nuances of doing mobile production. You know what I'm saying? Because that's why I got this now. And the ironic thing is with the wireless Rodes now, they always come with the power packs. Rode came out with their own power pack, but I've got like a third party one where I put my Rodes in here because I've gone to gigs and they run out. And a key prep advice I would say, a mistake that everybody, this is the biggest mistake that people make when doing videography and photography. Check your memory space and card before you go out. Check that, because you're going to get embarrassed when you're about to do that shot and it's got only 2 minutes left, and then you said, "Shot, I'm going to go and delete." And when you go to delete, you cannot find the files that you want to delete. And when you go back, you realize, did I copy that? And then you can't have no space for anything. So whether you got an iPhone, check your usage. When you got your cameras, check how much usage. When you even got the Rodes and the internal memories and this and that, check your memory before you do the gig.
I'm going to even push you guys to go a step further, because for me personally, like I said, right now for a lot of my outdoor media stuff, unless I'm doing like the stuff that I put on TV, for example, the stuff that goes into my social channels, it's my iPhone. I usually have if I'm using a control desk, I'll have my iPad as a control desk and then the iPhone connected to that to do the recordings. But I do not rely on the storage on the iPhone. Even if I've got like 256 gigs or whatever it might is, I have an external SSD.
Okay, good.
So usually on my iPhone, when people see it when I'm at these things, usually I have it on a rig. So like the phone's in the rig, and then connected to that rig is the microphone. So it's an adapter, and then in that adapter is connected to the microphone and then the SSD. So literally I can go on for hours on end because I've got this external SSD which everything goes to, and literally that SSD is only for when I'm doing my recordings, because when I get home, everything on that SSD gets emptied and put into the cloud, so it's empty for the next gig.
And this is the thing as well, guys. Understand this whole iCloud relationship with your phone as well, because I think sometimes we don't set it right. You know what I'm saying? How much memory you got in your phone?
So this phone is a 128 gig, only a 128 gig phone. But my iCloud,
disrespect the system,
because I use iCloud. There's no reason for me. I don't need more than that.
Listen,
I don't need that.
Man, let me see. Have I got 512? I'm sure I got 512s. I use 512s.
See, I don't even waste my time with that. I really don't. I don't waste my time with that.
Bro, you need to take your time on that, man. But you wouldn't even like that.
Yeah, see, so I've got 128 gigabyte storage on the phone itself, but my iCloud is 12 terabytes.
Okay.
So I don't need more than that.
No.
So anything that goes on there, everything is already set up so that anything over a certain amount will automatically just go straight into the iCloud. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't block up my phone. So there's little things you can do. Okay, I pay quite a bit for my storage.
Yeah.
But that's only because of where I've got to now. I thought, I need to have that there. But there's so many different options that people can use. Like I said, if you get an external SSD, as long as that's connected, everything that you record will just go straight onto there. Then you can feed it into your laptop or whatever, do your editing, upload it into your cloud or into your Google Drive, whatever you got. And you just keep going. I think all these little things you kind of need to think about. Because like you said, it's not just a case of get up, grab your camera and record. You need to think about all those little things. The last thing you want is to be in the middle of a recording for a notification to come from your camera, you run out of space or you run out of battery. All that kind of stuff has to be prepped from before.
That used to happen to me always when it's the best song right at the end of the concert,
Yeah.
and it messes up.
And sometimes if you're out in a, so like there's been times where I've been out somewhere, let's say I've gone to stay with a friend or family member, and I'll get invited to go to a gig just as a guest, but I'll still choose to do recordings. So I literally, all I've got on me at the time would be my iPhone, nothing else. It wasn't planned. But there's certain little things that you can do which will still help you in terms of, so when you go into the iPhone settings, for example, and you're looking at the camera, there's an option that says record video, and it actually tells you how much space a video recording would do. So it tells you that, if you record a 1080p video, then it'll be 90 megabits, 90 megabits for every minute of
but
recording.
The thing is, as well, I was going to say, don't set your camera to 4K 60 frames.
No, you don't need to.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It affects the light absorption. So it's not as good a quality without the highlight, unless you're doing gym stuff and you have to have the slow mos and stuff. If you don't have to have slow mos, you know what I would say to bro?
Yeah, I've got it on 30 now, but 24
frames. I will set it up for 24 frames, guys. If you're just doing vlogging, 24 frames, and you know when you're doing something specific, don't do no 120, 60 frames. You're not doing a music video like that or anything, and you use slow mos. Just keep it 24, and that will take up less space, and it's less strain on the sensor, so you get a higher quality shot. And I think it's not running max. And sometimes when you go 60, I've done it. I've got my GoPro out back in the GoPro's my dirt word. But GoPros now, I used to I'm gonna do 60 frames and press record. The thing almost mounted the battery. You gotta remember that as well, guys. These technologies will overheat if you're running at max. Whether it's an iPhone or not.
That used to be the fact that I used to get along with my first camera that I got. That used to get on my nerves because it used to overheat.
550 in it.
And then it would just cut off. There was no notification. It just got black, and I can't put it on again. That used to get
the
on my
trick
nerves.
is to change battery, but 550s will overheat. I remember seeing that sign. I was like, "What that's about?" But they're not really built for long form. And that's why I got myself a little handy camera. But saying, okay, on the last note, these handy cameras. We see camcorders for dummies, man, I would say. They still have a use, Are you gonna catch me with one?
Then you can't say they still got a use.
You know what, bro?
I haven't used one of those. I've definitely not used one of those in the past 20 years. That much I'm going to tell you. I've not used one of those in the past 20 years. I used to use them before that. But technology's come too far now. I'd rather use my phone than take one of those out.
You know why I needed them as well? About when I first started my live show, what was good about them camcorders is that, because I use them in churches and stuff, that the HDMI out was clean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it had the clean HDMI out.
I'm saying for the time period they came out, they were really good.
So they were really good in terms of that. The quality wasn't great, but the versatility of a camera was great. So certain handhelds with clean HDMI out, you could get for a great price. You're not looking for something, especially when they stream it. It's almost like a great web camera. You know what I'm saying? But now, phones, professional SLRs, you know what I mean? My mirrorless cameras.
And just to touch on something you mentioned earlier about the 24 frames per second. So what a lot of people may not realize is that when you go to cinema and you're watching your movies and all that kind of stuff, all of that is recorded in 24 frames per second. So when we're telling you to record in 24 frames per second, that is an industry standard. Anything above that is just you're a little bit extra. But your movies in the cinema, your things you watch on Netflix, most of them, whether it be 4K or above, is still usually 24 frames per second. That's the standard film resolution. So
if you record an event and you want to be, and you're thinking that 60 frames will be excellent because you've got that as an option, don't bother. You want 60 frames when you're doing promos and music videos. That's when you want to go 60 frames. So when you go as an editor, you want to be creative with the slow-mo, as much as you have got software that can imitate that vibe, but really and truly running at 60 frames with music videos is when you read, and that's short form. So you're just recording 3 minutes, bomb out, 3 minutes, next angle, 3 minutes, next angle, and it's good. But when you go whatever you use, even with professional cameras, there's it does change. When I say quality, It's about light exposure is different. It's about how it absorbs, the sensor absorbs. So you find it goes darker straight away, and straight away you have to work a lot harder to make sure the shot maintains the quality. So it's not as easy as it sounds.
It seems,
yeah. And it'll burn out your space.
Easy,
Because you know, if you're running at 60 frames and Marx is running at 30 frames, Mark can record 20 minutes and you only can record 10. It's literally that. But Mark will still have high quality footage. It'll look better because of the lighting situation. He's look better, and you got 60 frames. It looks dead. You can do slow mos, but it looks teary out. You know what I'm saying? Not really works for. But that's it from there, man. So yeah, bro. So I think that was anything else? The advice there. I think we gave away all our trade secrets.
I think we gave away some good little gems.
Well,
there.
I feel like, yo, man, you pay for that, you know, bro. But, yo, guys, you know, send your donations, you know what I mean? But something that I always say, is something a mantra of mine is it's all about the process. And I think that, you know, if you don't go through the process of learning, making mistakes and development, that's the reason why we're here. So, you know, that's what even one of my colleagues, he started a podcast, something he said, this type of mentors that you have and people you look up to and get influenced by, some of the best mentor is the ones that are doing it. Yeah.
And I think that would probably be what I would add to that is, going back to what I said earlier, for me, the main thing for me is if you're just starting, just get started. We've talked about a lot of the stuff that you should try to aim to acquire. And the fact is some people won't have the budget for that initially. A lot of this might be, okay, this is what I'm aiming for in terms of the long run. But whatever you can afford within your budget, get that, start it. Because there's a lot of videos that will talk about the budget products that you can buy. If you said, let's say, for example, you've only got £200 to spend, it can tell you like a whole list of stuff you can get within that £200 just to help you get started. And then the aim is literally that, you know, even if you say, you know, I want to buy this stuff for £200, get started, and then over the next year, I'm just going to put a little bit away so I can afford to get the next step. Whatever you do, you just aim towards that, but get started. And if you have to put money in place, like I said, focus more on the audio side of things than anything else, because I don't think there's any smartphones out at the moment that will not allow you to record in 4K. So at least you know you've got some level of quality there, but the audio on iPhone, stuff like that, the onboard audio isn't great. It's the same thing with these as well. With the pro cameras, the onboard audio isn't great. So that's why you need the external audio, but make that your main focus is get the audio crisp, because you're going to have decent video anyway. And then once you've got the audio, I think even before you move to like increasing your video, I would probably say get your lighting in place to increase what you've got already in terms of your video quality.
Lighting and power banks. Power. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm looking at doing some stuff, and man, power is an important part, bro. Absolutely important part, man. So guys, if you want to go to our seminar, we're going to open up a seminar soon and teach and drink. That'll affect the industry, you know, bro. I was Mark saying, why'd you come with me and showing people? Because we've been around a lot of top people in the industry, in the gospel industry, and my biggest pain, and I assume it's Mark's, is that that our bougie professionals do not share the knowledge.
Yep. If you want to come to me or Roger at any point and ask us, I'll give you the knowledge.
Yeah, but listen, bro,
I'd rather see the whole, especially within the gospel industry, I'd rather see everybody come up the standard than just to see mediocrity around. Like, you heard what I said earlier. I'm not one for that.
Yeah.
But I will share it.
We've been in a scene where the guys ahead of us have not allowed us through. Sorry guys, sorry to the gatekeepers. We have actually jumped over we jumped over the thorns. They left us some thorns, you know, left some thorns, and we kind of jumped over the corner. I got some nettles in us and said, you know what, we over here, mate. We're over there. You know what I'm saying? And when you book it, you put the barbed wire fence and you put your leather jacket on top and you jump over, and then you just get the tweezers and book the fence.
We're coming through, man. We're coming through.
No, real talk, guys. We've had TV companies on. We still have got TV companies on the channels, doing channels and stuff like on TV. What we're doing, just this alone in this space, is the same quality, if not better, on what they're doing. That's the scary thing about it. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty of technology. You know what I'm saying? And that's why we're extra. That's why we be extra and Affinity Extra, because
All the
this is,
time.
you know what I'm saying, and this is what we do, man. So this is Tech Extra, myself and Marx. Do comment, do shout out any ideas. If we broke the industry, yo, Road, come for us, sports. I keep saying Road, support us, man. We got basically we use Road, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But listen, Sennheiser, if you want to come through. Listen, guys, we celebrate tech, we want to push tech, and we want to make tech accessible for all. So, yo, any of the big guys, holla. And Apple, you know what I mean? I'm always a number away, man. One call. It's just the man says yes already.
Yeah.
Whatever you have for me, man, you know what I mean? Even with some air tags, yo, I just say
Anything,
yes.
man. Bring it through.
Yeah, man. Listen, guys, peace and love, man. Blessings.
Yeah.
What's going on, people? I'm DJ H, and make sure you check out all the stuff Affinity Xtra's got going on, man. We've got loads of content, loads of things coming out. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel, you know. Listen, don't go anywhere, you know. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Subscribe is the main thing. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, like it, and share it with your brethren, yeah?